All right, guys, welcome back. Michelle Glass here. You have made it to our final episode of Chapter 6, Lecture 6. Our topic here is bone repair. So let's get started. Of course, the first thing that we need to know that would happen in this scenario is that the bone breaks. So you have a fracture, and then you get what's called a fracture hematoma forming, which is essentially a really big blood clot. Now, we will talk about blood clot mechanism in AMP2, so I don't see that we need to go into a lot of that detail here. Essentially, what we should know is that this is going to be important in decreasing blood loss and also creating a fibrous framework for our repair to occur. The next thing that we have happening is what's called a callus formation. In this case, you're increasing your amount of mitosis. You have a migration of the cells to the fracture so that you're actually starting to make a repair structure. You have both an external and an internal callus. So the external callus is coming from those osteogenitor and osteoblast cells that are in that periosteum. And what we see is that first cartilage and bone eventually will unite the outside of that bone fracture. And then you have one forming internally using, again, those osteogenitor and osteoblast cells that are in the endosteum. And here you're going to see formation of spongy bone uniting that fracture from the inside. So you get basically a stabilizing structure on the outside and a stabilizing structure on the inside. So this is real quickly formed, in terms of using cartilage and so forth to make this callus. From there, you'll see that the spongy bone will replace that external callus. So we had cartilage, now we're getting spongy bone, and then ultimately that will be remodeled into the compact bone such that all evidence of that fracture should ultimately, disappear through that remodeling process. Remember, remodeling is tearing out the old and putting in the new, so that involves both your osteoblasts and your osteoclast cells. Essentially, then, that fracture repair is going to be as good as it was to begin with, and very often it's a little bit thicker than it was before, such that, typically you're not breaking the bone in exactly the same spot based on an effective repair. All right, that is it for Chapter 6.